This week, we share the heartfelt and emotional reflection interviews of the hashtag Tokyo 2020 athletes, showcasing Anruné Weyers, Akani Simbine, and Tatjana Schoenmaker, who were part of the Living My Dream campaign that was supported by the National Lotteries Commission and implemented by the Sports Trust.
I'm Anruné Weyers, and I compete in the class T47 at the Paralympic Games. You're at my home, a space that is very precious to me, a space where my husband and myself made it beautiful. It's what we call home. It's a place where we connect with friends and family, and we share it with our little dog Zara. And this is just, I'm glad that you guys can experience my home besides the track. The way my life has changed since Tokyo and receiving the gold medal at the Paralympic Games has been quite an interesting and adventure ride, and it definitely has changed. I think the incredible thing of COVID, people just want something positive and something, and I'm really honoured that I could actually bring a bit of that positivity with my gold medal that I received at Tokyo. When I have my walks with my dogs, normally chat with everybody and they recognise me. But I think the amazing part is seeing my story of Tokyo, having COVID, racing with God, going there to go and run every single step with God. That's a thing that connects us, and then I can connect with them with the things that are important in their lives as well. So all the people that come to me, it's really special that they share their stories or they share what they thought of Tokyo, and it's a picture of my hands in the air and me celebrating my journey with God, and it opens up a pathway that I can connect with them. So when I went out on that track with the 400, it was just beautiful for me to remind myself I'm here to run with God. I prayed for an empty mind to focus, because we had 5 years to train for the perfect 400 and to execute the 400 meter race, and it was incredible. I love watching my race now because it gives me emotion and makes me get goosebumps, because it made me realize just what God did. Every single step of the way from the start till the end, we had a magical race, a matured race. My third Paralympic Games, it was my most beautiful 400 I've raced, and receiving that gold medal and just going on my knees and thanking God for the opportunity. Who my first phone call was after my medal, I'm going to get emotional maybe again, but it was definitely my husband when I had the opportunity to have Wi-Fi, to phone him, and we both had just a moment of just having tears. And yeah, he just said he's really proud of me, and I think I was excited to see his face, because he was the face when I had COVID that I looked at, and he was very conscious that maybe with COVID and having it, won't be able to be at Tokyo. So having that facial expression on my screen and sharing that with him was magical. He was at a bachelor's, so he watched it with lots of mates, and it's the most special video of his friends celebrating my race. My reflection on what the incentives and the bus parade we had, it was very special. Seeing all Team SA, the bus with our faces on, was an extra touch. Getting in your room, getting a gift from the Sport Trust and the Lotto funding was really special. Getting a letter to congratulate us, it's small things that matter. I'm still on cloud 9, realizing every time I take out my medal, it's a reminder of the platform that God has given me to share my stories, to share my experience, and it's definitely a dream that I'm living, and I'm excited about what the future holds for me as an athlete and for South Africa, for every athlete and for the future Paralympians. I hope our stories inspires youngsters to also follow their dreams, so that they can also live the dream.
My name is Akani Simbine. I am the fastest man in Africa. The Olympics, I think, was a learning curve for everybody, and just kind of a reminder to everybody just to keep healthy and just to keep safe, and just ways of making everybody else around you safe, just in case you're sick, And yeah, it was a great experience, different experience, but great. And I'm grateful that I was able to go to the Olympic Games and represent the country and have the Lotto back us athletes. We've never had such backing ever before, and I'm super grateful for that, and I'm thankful that they actually saw purpose in backing us athletes going to the games and believing in our dreams and believing in what we want to achieve at the games and what we want to achieve as athletes and our personal goals and believing in our personal goals. You know, you don't find a lot of people believing in athletes' personal goals. They just have their own goals and say you need to do this, but you find that's not the athlete's goal. But the NLC took time to understand us and understand what we want to achieve and where we want to go with this, and it's just great that they're backing us. So the night before the finals, so got through the heats, and then that was always the plan, get through the heats and then make sure you're ready for the next night, because the next night I'll have two big races, which is the semi-final and the final. I just told myself, you know what, don't overthink it, just go out there, do your best. You've trained, you've done what you can do, you can't change anything else. Now it's just time for you to just bring out your best and hope for the best, you know. And next morning, woke up, went to breakfast, chilled, went to lunch, chilled, and I started getting ready for the night, and yeah, the show started and got through to the final. And then yeah, the final happened. It was a shocker for everybody, but final happened and we finished fourth. I was shocked at the fact that, first of all, that race, how it came about, and just seeing Sue just shoot out of nowhere, and it was just like, how? And I'm in the race and I'm not supposed to be thinking about it, but it's just like, how? Because I knew the race was between me, Jacobs, and I was like, okay, it's just the race on our side, so I don't have to really worry about what's happening on the end. And then the gun goes off, you see a body just flying, you're like, what is happening here? And now it's trying to center yourself again and put yourself together and say, okay, I need to run now, I need to race. But then at that point, with what we do with the 100 meters, you're not allowed to do that. You can't be trying to make up or trying to say, okay, I need to switch on now, you know. And he had it. The relationship with the Sports Trust has been amazing. I think they, as the middleman between the athlete and the NLC, was amazing, because we're able to deal with someone with a face, not just a phone call or an email saying you need to do this, you need to do this. When we are making decisions, it's the athlete, the Sports Trust, NLC. It's not just the Sports Trust and the NLC deciding for the athlete, you know, it's a team. We became a team, and you know, for us it's looking to see if we can make the team go longer over the next couple of years, build something that can be long lasting for the next generation, you know, and have a new culture in South Africa where the Sports Trust and the NLC are working together to develop sports in South Africa. So my message to South Africa for the support, you know, for the backing during the games is just thank you. You know, I received so many messages of support, so many messages of backing and belief, and for me it's just to say thank you and just don't stop believing, because I believe in myself, and I believe in myself even more than what I did back then. And it's great to see that the nation can come together just to support one person.
Tatjana Schoenmaker, Olympic champion and world record holder. I think it's anyone's dream when you're little, you look up to the Olympics and you think, wow, I wish I could be there one day. But you don't realize how much it takes to get there. So I think there's a lot of times in that journey that you realize, like, am I actually able to? Because it's a lot more than you think when you're a kid. You just think, oh wow, it's the Olympics. So I would definitely say I think the realization of maybe it could be possible for me was only probably when I was like 15, 16. It was that race. I think it was Chad's race at the 2012 Olympics. You see a South African do it, so you know, okay, we're able to do it as well. And then also knowing that I was in the sports school and I was literally giving my life to swimming. How can I not make it if I actually try? Yeah, the moment I realized I broke a world record, obviously my first reaction was very boring, and everyone was like, okay, is that how a world record holder acts? So obviously my second reaction was a bit out there, and I really can't remember anything that happened. It was almost like I wasn't there. It was just, the shock was so big that I couldn't even believe it. So I think when all the girls came to the middle, like looking at those photos, like it literally feels like I can't remember that moment because it was so big and such a shock. But yeah, it was so nice to share that with the other girls, and especially with my teammate Kayleen, because we train together and we know what it takes to get there and just to be at the Olympics. So yeah, I think it's a special moment, and I'm very lucky that technology is there and I can re-watch that race over and over. But yeah, it almost looks, when I look at the race, it doesn't even look like me. That's how weird it feels. If we're able to celebrate each other's victories, it's so special. And I think in that moment, what made it more special, it just almost felt like God's love was present, and that's exactly what you want out of it, for people to experience God's love. And it's not about like trying to beat them and trying to break records. It's ultimately having an effect on someone's life or trying to convey God's message to them, and that's ultimately His purpose for everyone. So yeah, I just felt like at that moment, and it just sealed off my Olympics, and my Olympics ended off with that, and I just knew that God's purpose came through and His plan will always work out. So it was such a special moment. I would say my advice to younger girls would definitely be to don't compare yourself to someone else. It is very hard. As humans, we tend to do that, and also with social media and stuff, it's very easy. And I am here and I got where I am, but don't try and be me, because you can only be the best you. Yeah, I would just like to say to the National Lotteries Commission, thank you for their support. Thank you for backing us and not having that expectation on us, just being there and supporting us to give our best. And that's ultimately the only thing we can do for them, and for them to help us with further in our careers, and just stand with us no matter what. I think thank you for that. It really means a lot to us. Sports Trust has honestly been an amazing support, but not only support, it just makes you feel like you're part of family, and people that have your back 24/7 and want to help you get your dreams. And not only when you get the Olympic medal, not only following your career when you've achieved great things, but being by your side even if it doesn't go well, because no one's life just goes uphill. There are a lot of downs, and to have someone on your side that will be there in your downs, I think that makes it very special.
These athletes are truly grateful to the National Lotteries Commission and the Sports Trust for supporting them, and their message they share is to never give up on your dreams. Anything is possible.